Hi, myself Akhila Patil from 6th A section. So here I am explaining my open-end experiment of a computer network lab, and my topic is cyclic redundancy check, and I'm applying the cyclic redundancy check in socket programming on both the sender side and the receiver side. So here you can see I have made two files, that is sender.py and receiver.py, and I'm using the Visual Studio Code in order to run these files. So firstly, CRC means it is a method of detecting the accidental changes or errors in the communication channel, and CRC uses the generator polynomial which is available on both the sender side and the receiver side. An example for generator polynomial, like consider x cube plus 1, and this generator polynomial represents the key 1001. Different key will be there for different generator polynomial. Now coming to this, so in the receiver I have imported the socket, and you can see the XOR function, where this exclusive OR function, here it will compare the two binary number bitwise. If both the bits are same, then it will append 0, or else 0 to the result, or else it will append 1. So this function will return this result value. Next you can see the mod2 division function, so which takes the two parameters, parameters, that is the dividend and the divisor. So this module 2 binary division is to divide the binary data by the key and store the remainder of the division. After that we are finding the length of the divisor, that is the number of bits to be XORed at a time. Next we are applying the slice operation on the dividend, a dividend in order to get the appropriate length for a particular step. After that, in the while loop, if this big value is less than the length of the dividend, and one more condition is that if temp of 0 is equals to 1, then we replace the dividend by the result of XOR and pull one bit down, or else if the leftmost uh, a bit of the dividend is 0, then we cannot use the regular divisor. We need to use an all 0 divisor. After that we are incrementing the peak value in to move further. If this temp of 0 is equals to 1, that is the for last n bits, we have to carry it out, or else we are normally as increased value of the peak will cause the index out of bound. After that it will return this check word after finding the result of if or else. After that we can see that here the receiver will decode the data, so it takes two parameters, that is data and key. Firstly we are finding the length of the key. After that uh, it will append the n minus 1 zeros at the end of the data. So after appending uh, it will determine the remainder by the division method. So this function will return that remainder. Next we can see that we have created the socket object. If it is created successfully, then it will print that socket is successfully created in the output. So here the port number is, in my case I have taken it as 1 2 3 4 5. It can be anything. So next up you can see that s dot bind. So here this bind is used because it binds the socket to the IP address, and s dot so if it is binding, then it will print that the socket is binded to the that port number of the sender. Then s dot listen method, which puts the server into listening mode, which allows the server to listen the incoming connection. So if it is listening, then it will print that the socket is listening. After that in this while loop, so here the accept method is used. So in order to, in this loop we are establishing the connection with the client, so accept method is to accept the connection from this sender. So if it got connection, then it will print that they got connection from the address of the sender. After that the data, to get the data from the client, so this is the data from the client, so that is the sender. So here a particular 1024 means like it like it can read at most 1024 bytes. So this is the blocking call, and there is a blocking if no data is waiting to be read. After that it will print the received encoded data in the binary format. The key defined, as I said, in my case I have taken the generator polynomial as x cube plus 1, so the key will be 1001. After getting the data, it will decode the data, so it will print the remainder after decoding the data. If this answer is equal to temp, then it will print that it will send the message to the sender, that is there is no errors found in the data sent by the sender, or else it will send a message to the sender, that is there is an error in the data sent by the sender. So if I run this code, here we can see that the socket is successfully created and it is binded to port number of the sender, and socket is listening. For now I will close this. Now coming to the sender part. So to say about the sender, here the task is to send the string data to the server, and the sender send a string. So after sending the string, it is converted to the binary form, and key is known to both the sender side and the receiver. So hence here the key used is 1001, as I said, and this data is encoded using the CRC code using the key on the server side, and this encoded data is sent to the receiver, and receiver later decodes the encoded data string to verify whether there was any error or not. So here also same, I have imported the socket, the same XOR function and module 2 division function is there. So in receiver we have decoded the data, here we are encoding the data. So it also takes the two parameters, that is data and key. After that, here also we are finding the length of the key. So after that it will append the n-1 zeros at the end of the data and find the remainder. So after finding the remainder, if this remainder is appended to the original data, that is the code word, so this function will return that code word. After that we create the socket object, s is equals to socket dot socket function. So after that I have defined the port number, that is 12345. Next we can see that s dot connect of this IP address and this port number. So this connect function is connecting the socket to the remote server, which allows the data to be sent and received from the server. So after that I have taken the input statement to enter the data which I want to send to the receiver. After that it will convert that data into binary form, that is enter data, and after that it will print the enter data in the binary format. So here also I have defined the key value, that is 1001. After that you can see that after encoding the data, so the encoded data is sent to the server in the binary format. So it is sent to the server, and this sender will receive the feedback from the server, that is there is an error in the sent data or not. So now I will run these files and I'll show. So I'll split the terminal in order to see both the sender and the receiver messages. So here you can see it got connection from this particular port number and this IP address. So here I will send something string. So first this string is converted to binary format. After that this data is this data is encoded and converted to binary format, and this encoded data is sent to the server side. After and next the server will decode the data. So here it found the remainder as 001, so that it will send the server feedback, that is there is no error found in the data. So that's all. Thank you.